Again, welcome to both of you, and thank you to both of you for coming by my office and sitting down and visiting on some of these important issues for our producers, for our farmers and ranchers. I really appreciate that. I just want to start out and talk for a minute about the regulatory burden that our farmers and ranchers face, and something that we've talked about. And it's not unique just to agriculture. I'm hearing this across every industry. So, you know, we understand there is a proper role for regulation. I mean, it is to protect the environment. You want to make sure that there aren't abuses going on there. But at the same time, it shouldn't be so burdensome and complex that people don't know how to comply and spend all their, you know, the people that want to do it right and are doing it right, spend all their time trying to figure it out and end up not just being able to farm or ranch in the proper fashion they normally do. So, you know, instead of making sure that you prevent the exception, we're forcing the rule kind of on everybody in a way that really is burdensome, difficult, and complicated. So I tried to give you a couple examples when we met, and I'd just like your response. And I'll start with Ms. Harden on a couple of these examples, and you can sure expand it to something else. But, for example, in the area of NRSC maps, North Dakota is a prairie pothole region of the country. Farmers and ranchers need to understand how to manage their farm or ranch and maintain the wetlands in a reasonable manner. But, for example, even the maps, the NRSC maps, from 1990 to 1996, some of the maps were approved, some weren't. Farmers still don't know whether they can rely on those maps, okay? How do you propose, I mean, can we go back and actually look at those maps and get the farmers squared away on that specific issue? And Mr. Bonney, you can start with this one if you'd like. But I'm just using that as an example. I'd use the special measures on prevented plant, the 1 in 4 rule, except then you have to define what's a normal weather year, which nobody can define. How do you cut through this stuff and get our farmers and ranchers some certainty that works for them? And I'd love both of you to respond. Use these specifics or others.
I'm happy to start on the issues related to wetlands in the prairie pothole region. So we really have two challenges. One is there's been a significant backlog of landowners who've been trying to get wetland certifications over the last several years. NRCS has worked to put more staff, more contractors there to reduce that backlog by 40%. There's still work to be done there, and I think that's an area of confirmed I'll continue to work on. The second piece has to do with, I think, the issue you raise about maps and data. Are we using the best data? This is another area that NRCS is focused on, continue to do work on, and we'll need to do work on going forward to make sure we're using the best data and that farmers and ranchers can rely on that, and that we do it in a transparent way. And so that's an area that we will continue to work on, and if confirmed, I'm happy to focus on it.
Senator, I'll just talk to you in a general sense. Obviously, common sense gets lost sometimes, and I think that's what's needed. And practical approaches, things that sound very good on paper, sound very good in an office here in Washington, just does not make good sense on the ground. I don't have to go very far to get an earful from my own daddy, sitting in the corner over here, a farmer himself, who says, why in the heck are y'all doing this way? I understand that. I can't tell you I can fix everything, because that wouldn't be honest. But I can tell you that I'm aware, I understand, I agree with you, and that if confirmed by the Senate as role as deputy, I will do what I can in that role to make sure that we do have practical approaches, some common sense applies, and just use my personal experience in recognizing that farmers want to do what's right. I believe that if given the opportunity to, farmers and ranchers.
What I would propose, and I think would be helpful, is if we could get you to come out to North Dakota, look at some of the wetlands areas, talk to some of the farmers. On the grasslands, come out and see the grasslands, talk to the ranchers, so that when you work on grazing plans and allotments, you've seen it and you've heard from them directly. I think, you know, you hear from a lot of different folks back here but there's nothing better than seeing and then hearing from the people on the ground that are doing it every day. And I'd ask that you both commit to do that.
Yes, sir. You got our commitment.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, and I do look forward to working with both of you.
Thank you.